Alright, here we go. This is going to definitely be the most intricate drawing we've made so far, which is why it's going to count as a project grade. So this will be 35% of your grade. It's not necessarily any harder, it just is in-depth and will take a little while. Before we start, you can see in the background there's a watermark. I'd definitely like to give this guy credit. I believe this is his drawing. He also made a video, however, the video he does not speak in, so I think this video will help my class significantly get through this really awesome work. So I thank him for his contribution. So with all of that said, we definitely want to keep this picture in mind. In fact, you should refer to it pretty often. It's in the written instructions. So you'll notice these two concentric circles here. That's where we're going to start. These lines, we're going to make all these lines, and near the end we'll fix them. You're going to see we'll make them a little too big, but that's okay. All these angles, you'll see how we make that. You may have some ideas already how to make such an angle. You should. We've done similar things. Yeah, so let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is come into our circle, and we're going to circle center radius. So let's do diameter, double check the drawing. Yeah, so remember this symbol tells us it's the diameter. When we see R, that's radius, so diameter, radius. So we can do circles of with a 14 unit diameter and 24 unit diameter. So here we go. So circle, center, diameter. We can start anywhere here, so some arbitrary point. Let me pull this up so we can see our command line. Start here, and we'll type in 14. Press enter. The other one, so pick the same. And again, we definitely want our snaps on. And at points we'll need ortho mode on as well. In fact, I'll turn that on now. So ortho mode is on and our snaps are on. I believe later on we'll have to turn ortho off, but we'll do that when we get there. So we're going to click the center point, and this one has a diameter of 24. Alright, so there's the beginning of a complex drawing. Next thing we're going to do is head over to line, and this is where we want our ortho mode on. I'm going to come back again to the center of the circle. I have measurements in the handout for you, so I'll try to keep with those. We could change the size of these lines. You'll note at the end we're going to have to shorten them, so we could shorten them. But let's not. So we're going to click the center. We're not going to click the center. I'm sorry. Don't click the center. Head up 60 units. All right, so wait till our line appears. And it's okay. We're going to go straight up this line. And you see it says center 40, 50, 50. So right about 60. If it's not perfect, that's fine. So that's our first point. Now we're going to go straight down. Remember, ortho is on, so that's keeping us straight even if we veer a little bit, which is perfect. And we want to go straight down 95 units. So there's 96. That's fine. All right, we're going to do the same thing again. Come back to the center. So we're going to go left 90 units. Alright, so that should be fine. There's our first mark. And now we're going to come back to the right 150 units. Alright, so there's about 150-ish. Perfect. Alright, and notice if we go back and take a look here, we're using these lines to really center all of our objects. So you'll see circles here, circles, right? So we're going to line up the center of all these objects here. We're also going to use this as kind of a snap in itself, as we're going to come up a measured distance here and move over. So we know the coordinates of this point. So anyway, let's continue on with our lines. So the next thing we want to do, notice those lines are red. So we've done, hit escape. We've done a little bit of this in the past. I know a couple of people said they had a problem, so you're really going to want to pay attention here. We're going to go into line type. So just type LT, press enter, and here where it says by layer, we're going to come in. I have a plus and minus sign. You may have load somewhere here. So I'm going to click the plus. You would click load. This should look familiar to all of you. We're going to, again, find center 2 and add it. We'll double click center 2. Good, good. We're going to save it. All right. Next, we'll click this line and type MO. That's for properties. Press enter. Here we're going to change the color to red, as you saw in the drawing. We're going to change the line type to center 2 and the line scale to 7. Press enter. We can close out. Right, and you'll notice that our line is now red and a broken line, much as it is in our guiding picture. So here, let's click on this line and type MA. So this will let us match this line. So what do we want to match to it? This line here. So we click on it, notice it turns red. Alright, so we have our lines created. Here's the vertical line. We can start with this one. We're going to click on it and then type CO for copy. Let's move the cursor to the left and type, oh no, I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead. So we want to specify the base point first. So we'll just call this center point the base point. We're going to move the cursor left and type 30 to get our first copy. And again, move it left and type 51 to get our second copy. And you take a look here. We'll come back here. You'll note here's the center, and that's 30 units over. And another 21 is this point. So far we've got our center lines being made. All right. The next thing we want to do, press escape, come back, home, circle center radius, and we're going to click over here this time. So this circle is going to have a radius of 10. Press enter, and we're going to do the same thing. So click our circle, center radius again, come in, and this one will also have a radius of 10. Alright, so again, just to take a quick look, you can see the outside line here is the radius of 10, so we're not starting with this inside. You'll see why. We learned about the offset tool a couple weeks ago. We're going to make use of that in just a few moments. So that's why radius 10, we're making this outer oval. So the next thing, we're going to click on our line and connect the top center to the top center. Same thing at the bottom. These snaps are awesome. All right, and now we'll come back with our, please remember, don't do like me, press escape, I keep forgetting. So we'll come back in and use our trusty trim tool. Please remember with the trim tool, for most of our uses, after you type it, press enter, it says select objects or select all, so you press enter to select all. That pretty much selects every object here. Then we're just going to trim this out. Alright, and we've created our oval. We could do that using a polyline as well. If you want to try it, go for it. It's really not much more difficult, but you could use a polyline for that. Alright, so next thing, here comes the offset tool. Just to take a look, you'll notice this has a radius of 10. This one has a radius of 5 on the inside. So when it asks for the offset, it's going to be 5 units for that reason. So we'll type O in the command line, offset pops up. Now it wants our offset distance, and we'll set it as 5. You want to click, you can start anywhere. We can start here. Now, if I move my cursor outside, notice it's making it bigger, and that's not what we're looking to do, so we've got to move our cursor inside and click the next part of the oval, move inside. We'll just go right around here, move inside, and there's our double oval, if you will. All right. So continuing on, we're going to come back and so the last part of the video we were working on from the center here over. Now we're going to be working from the center to the right. So we're going to be making some of these lines next, and let's get started. So first thing we want to do, we want to click on this vertical line and type CO for copy. We're going to move, pick our base point first, sorry. So click the center and move the cursor to the right and type 30, followed by enter, and press escape. So now we need an arc. We're going to come in here, select arc, center, start, angle. Our center is going to be the center of this circle. Our start point for the arc will be here. And now it wants an angle, so just move the cursor up a little bit, type 40, and press enter. All right, so there's the arc. That's going to become this one here. All right, and now we want to draw a line. And we're going to connect the center of the circle to the top of the arc. Alright, now we want to click this red vertical line. We're going to type MA again for the match, and come in here and match these two lines, followed by escape. We're going to go ahead and create another circle now. So this one's going to be circle, center, radius. The center is going to be right here where 3 lines intersect, and the radius is 11. So press enter, and we're going to create another circle, this time up at the center here. So again, it's the same command, circle, center, radius, right up here, and this one will have a radius of 11. Press enter. Alright, so moving on, we want to extend this angled line here so it comes up to the circle. So we're going to type EX into the command line. We're going to select this. Sorry. Alright, so we're going to extend. I botched that. So let's start again. Sorry. We're going to type EX, enter, again down here, this is what I did wrong. We want to hit enter to select all objects. Now we will select this angled line, and you can see it extends. Actually, it doesn't quite clip the circle. It intersects this red line, and that's okay. But we could have drawn this line shorter, and then it would intersect that circle. So keep that in mind. If you want, you can fix that. Press escape. We can lower this. Now EX, enter. Oh, EX, press enter, enter, and there we go. Okay, so no big deal. So if you notice, well, we made this oval before. It was a nice straight line, so we were able to use a straight line. These will not be connected by a straight line. If we come back, you can see it's an arc. Sorry, it's an arc. We drew the outer circle first, so we have to draw an arc. So that one's going to be arc and center, start, end this time. Let's see, center, start, end, right? And the center is going to be right here. Up here and connect. All right, so there's our arc. All right, so sorry, just getting my bearings. We have a couple lines to connect. So we're going to click this guy. No, sorry. Type CO for copy. Now we'll click this guy. Pretty much our original line. And we're going to move the cursor again. Sorry, center. All right, nothing wants to work. So let's try this one more time. We're going to copy. We're going to pick this line. Okay, we're going to keep working at this part here. So the next thing we want to do is type trim in our command line. Press enter. And again, press enter to select all objects. We're just going to start trimming these circles here. If it doesn't let us trim something, we can always use the erase tool. So erase, press enter, and we can come in and just erase these couple pieces. Press enter. All right, and escape. We can zoom back out. So let's come back to our guiding drawing. All right, so here we're going to use the offset again. We have the radius of 11, which we've done, and now we need to create this inner oval that has a radius of 6. So again, we can do 11 minus 6. Our offset is going to be 5. So we come back to our command line, we type O. It says specify offset distance, that's going to be 5. And again, just like before, we're going to click a part of the oval and move the cursor inside. Click the oval, move the cursor, click the oval, and move the cursor. All right, you'll notice in our drawing now that one oval is not complete. This one never gets closed. We'll be dealing with that shortly. but one of the things we have to do soon is close that oval. So again, that's going to be with an arc. So we'll come down over to draw, center, start, end. Center, start, end. Again, our center will be here, our start, and end. All right, and we've closed that oval. So next, we want to copy a couple of these lines. So let's click, I'll type copy, click this vertical line, press enter. Our base point is going to be the center. Move our cursor upwards and type 25. Press escape. We're going to copy one more time, so type copy, enter. We want to select this vertical line this time. The base point again will be, press enter. Now once the base point, we're going to move the cursor left and type 10. So now we've created this line, and what we're really concerned with is where they intersect here. So at this point, we're going to draw two circles using the circle center diameter. Circle center diameter. Right here, our first circle will have a diameter of 10. Click the same tool. And our second circle will have a diameter of 20. Okay, so we're getting closer here. Now we need to connect this circle and this unfinished oval. And we have a way to do that. We're going to use the fillet tool. So type F, press enter. All right. Here, you guys are going to select radius. I'll type it in. Our radius is going to be 10, so you can type 10, press enter. And we're going to select circle A over here. Select the second object, and be right here. And voila, we have a fillet. It's kind of a new or novel use of the fillet tool for us. But again, sometimes we have to think outside the box, think what tools do we have available to us, and really all we've done is rounded off an edge. All right. This next part, we're going to connect this circle with this oval. We're going to do that in a way we've used in the past. So we're going to click circle, tan radius. So we're going to identify spot tangent to this circle, spot tangent here, and the radius is going to be 30 units. There we go. Back to our trim tool, so type trim, press enter again. We're going to trim out the parts we don't need, and there we go. We've connected those two. I'm going to press escape. The next thing we want to do, we're going to jump back over to this side with another circle. We're going to circle, center radius. Center is going to be at the center here, and the radius will be 20 this time. So it'll be a little bit larger circle, and that starts to bring together the outside down here. We'll just have over here to connect. We'll do that in a minute. So again, similar to what we did here, we're going to use the fillet tool. So type F. You guys are going to click radius. I'll type it. All right, and the radius in this time will, again, actually just like last time, is 10. And we'll pick these two spots. There, we've closed that. So now we want to come back and connect the last outside piece. This one takes a little patience. So we can click here and then come down this way. But you'll notice what happened was there's a line inside the circle, so we'll just come back, press escape. So I made a second line, and click on the one that's inside the circle, delete, and there we go, nice clean line, tangent. Right, and now we're going to come in and use the trim tool, type trim, press enter, enter again, start getting rid of all the pieces that we don't need. Again, if something doesn't, if we can't get rid of it with the trim tool, we're going to come back and just use erase. So I'll zoom in, let's not leave anything too sloppy. You can look at the standard drawing we had at the beginning to kind of get an idea what lines, if any, don't we need. So if there's any extra red lines, which I don't think there are, we can trim those. We also have the option to come in. We definitely don't need this length, so just click on them, minimize them. Alright, so I just use the stretch tool, just bring them back in. As I said in the beginning, we were drawing them too long, but that's okay. They were just a guide. Now at the end we have kind of a nice professional look. Come in. Just click each one, shorten it down. Alright, some of them don't want to cooperate. This one really doesn't like me. I'm not sure what happened. Oh, that's what happened. Maybe, no. So stretch, we'll just bring it down this way. Still doesn't want to go. I know some of you have noticed this, especially with the trim tool in the past. If our computers get into a funky state, they can act kind of funky. Alright, that one just like totally cut itself off. Just trying to do a thorough job. I know it feels tedious. Like somehow a couple of these lines I've just gotten into a funky state. They should definitely shorten, and they're not. Yours probably will. This might be my Mac. Alright, you can get them to look like the stock drawing I gave you at the beginning. Mine are not going. And what I would probably do is copy them, paste it, delete the old, keep the new, and that would probably work. I think we've created one heck of a drawing. You've used a lot of tools. You've seen a lot of stuff. I would love to get you guys to do one of these on your own. I don't think that's too far off. Alright, so I finished trimming up some of these red lines, and you'll notice again, anything that shouldn't be here, we can type erase, press enter. Let's come in here, click, get rid of that, press enter. All right. I know this one has been a little bit long. It is a performance task, so you follow along, you get a great grade, and hopefully you start to think about how can I use this myself? How can I start to really make some new and wild drawings? The other thing is, at some point I'm going to give you a drawing like this and not give you the instructions, and that'll be your assessment. So you should just get used to this. Get used to using lines like this red line to line up, right? Like we used it here to go up 25 and over 10. How we use these lines. So just get used to that. Make it a ritual to start seeing any object, even in your own home, as how could you make that object with a bunch of circles and you maybe use fillets, etc., trim to get the final object. So again, thank you. I appreciate your patience. I appreciate all of your hard work trying to learn this stuff, even though we're far apart. Keep up the great work, and again, thank you.